Well, let's move on to the first of many three games or series that went to game three, right? And we're gonna go to Charlotte versus New York. Game one, Zaha lets Charlotte lose 1-0 to a brilliant piece of individual skill from Alonso Martinez. That goal, and I hate that I'm gonna gas up New York City here. Oh my God, that goal was fantastic. Martinez picks it up. He dribbles past the midfield line, gets one-on-one with the defender, just a touch, and a touch around the center back, gets back on the ball and finishes really, really nicely. That sort of move you see out in open space with 45 yards of green behind you, not inside the box, 1v1 with center backs. I mean, just absolute class. Charlotte struggled to create a ton of chances without guys like Zaha and Pep Biel to move the ball, and they lost for just the or the fourth time at home all season, right? They head over to the baseball field. They need to keep their playoff dreams alive. And it was a cage match. Both sides picking their moments to go at goal. New York City were more in control at home. Kalina and Freese both coming up with big stops in regulation to get us to 0-0 in penalties. And it took 8 shooters to get to a verdict, but Kalina comes up biggest and saves Ojeda's effort to force game three. And this is where I'm going to have to give a lot of credit to New York City and specifically their head coach, Pascal Janssen, who let Chicago play the game. They were in control from the opening whistle. They just were on the ball the entire game because New York City allowed them to. They bunkered in, they survived the onslaught, and they played on the counter, knowing that they could outpace, the 85-year-old Tim Ream 1v1. And when you have guys like Alonso Martinez and Nico Fernandez who can do that, it's a pretty good game plan. And not only did he do it, he drilled them very, very well to be defensively sound, defensively stout, and to do really good transition moments. First goal comes after a failed long throw from the Charlotte left back. Nico Fernandez picks up the ball at his own 18-yard line and just starts running. Tim Ream goes to challenge him 1v1, gets skinned, and he just runs and runs and runs. Nathan Burton gets back, does nothing to slow him up, and Fernandez finishes brilliantly off the post and in to give them a 1-0 lead right before the halftime whistle. I know, Grace, I know we have to talk. We have to talk about them. I know. I know you don't want to. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You got to go down. Come on. That was right before halftime. And you don't love to see that if you're Charlotte, right? You were in control of the half completely and you missed a couple of sitters in that half where you should have been ahead, and it didn't happen. They go into halftime down one, but 5 minutes into the second half, they get hit with another counter, right? They play along to Alonso Martinez, who makes no doubt to double the lead. Charlotte would get one back off of a crazy wild deflection with 9 minutes to go. And there was a lengthy, lengthy amount of stoppage time due to a really bad injury. Perea broke his leg coming down from an aerial challenge, sending all the good thoughts to him for a speedy recovery because that was nasty. But stoppage time, I think there was like 12 minutes, and it would only hurt them because they would get hit one more time in transition. Fernandez would score a second, restore the 2-goal lead, and they would ice the game for New York City. Thoughts? Give me, on this series as a whole.
I mean, not on the series and like it was very tight series to the point where I think if Charlotte have Pep Biel, I would back them to be the favorite in this. But what I will say is I think New York City played this series very intelligently. As you kind of mentioned, the idea of bunkering in and playing on the counter in that last game, game three, I think is a great idea. Because I mean, look who's in the back line. Like Tim Ream is one of the center backs. I mean, Tim Ream's had a great career, don't get me wrong, but he's not keeping up with the young attacking force of NYCFC, and they torched the back line because of it. Yeah, they were dangerous on the counter. Every time it was a dangerous opportunity. So I think NYC, as much as you hate to hear this, they deserve credit for how they played this series. And maybe if even if they weren't with even without BL, if they weren't the better team on paper, I think they came in with the better game plan and they executed it really, really well. I don't know what that's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be as easy to do against Philly in the next round, but you take as much as we can sit here and say, oh, if Charlotte had this person, if Charlotte had that, you have to play the team that's in front of you. That's what they did, and they played them in a very intelligent way, and I think deservedly get into the next round.
Yeah, listen, I mean, we're just adding this to the list of New York City, they're New York City are like the Buffalo Bills. They when they get into the playoffs, they're really good at beating teams that shouldn't be there or like are really, really beat up. Right? Buffalo Bills, you look at Josh Allen's list of the quarterbacks he's beaten in his playoff career. It's like Skylar Thompson, Bo Nix's first playoff game, like just this ridiculous list of players that don't deserve to be there, right? Same deal with New York City, right? A beat up Charlotte, COVID Philly, month off New England. I'm obviously just kidding here because
I
I need
wish I wish I had access to the mute button. I really wish I could mute you.
I need to prep myself to give credit because Pascal Janssen was so good. I mean, my buddy was at the game, and we were texting throughout the game, and I just kept telling him like, you guys are playing into his hands, right? He wants you to have the ball. He wants you to try and break him down in this low block because he knows that he can outpace you guys. He goes, yeah, I don't know why we keep playing into him, but they were defensively sound. They trusted their counterattack abilities, and the players repaid him in turn with three very good goals, right? As a coach, it was mesmerizing to watch it play out in real time. But I also want to give a really big shout out to Tavon Gray because when he got home, he took all of his jackets off and stuff. He starts emptying his pockets. He's got his wallet, puts it on the table, got his keys, puts it on the table, puts his phone on the table, and then out of his back pocket, Wilfred Zaha just climbs out because that's where he was for 90 minutes. I mean, it was ridiculous watching Wilfred Zaha try to break down Tavon Gray and not even get a sniff towards goal. Just really, really, really impressive showing from Tavon Gray, and he's going to be key to stop Philly in the next round. When it comes to Charlotte, right, not having Pep Biel hurt, no doubt about it. One of the reasons we were both so high on them this year, right? I think you had them in second, I had them in first, I think, in the East, was that we knew that having this creative playmaker in their side makes them a completely different team, right? They're two completely different teams without him. This series, we saw what they were without him. They had Brant Bronico playing as a hybrid 9-10, which was just it hurt my brain because you never knew where he was at any given moment. Brant Bronico at sometimes was the highest player on the field, and they did this against Red Bull too. I was at the Red Bull game away, and it's like I'm trying to map out where these players are going, and Brant Bronico is just like, "Where's the ball? I'll just go chase it." And I don't care where I'm supposed to be. And he just goes and goes and goes and goes, right? Um, and that hurt them because he put himself in a really good position to score. I mentioned, in the first half before New York City took the lead, he had a sitter on the 6 yard box and he didn't even hit the frame. And it's like Pat Biel puts that in, right? It's just one of those things where you get hurt with your lineup there. And then we look forward to what 2026 is going to be. I know we have, we're not really talking about the future for the teams that didn't make it, but the back line is going to be suspect. Milanda's going to move on. Ream's going to be another year older. You've got Andrew Privet, who's going to be good, but who's the next guy up? You're supposed to have João Pedro. He's gone, right? Time's going to tell how they do here, but I'm worried about Charlotte in the near future for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.